Goodwill brings to you the weekly share market update dated the 30th of September, 2023. Talking about the corporate segment, we have shares of Berger Paints India fell 8% on September 25 on low volumes, giving up the previous day's surge. The paints and coating giant saw its volume decline by as much as 60%, to 29 lakh shares from 75 lakhs traded at the exchanges on September 22. The Berger Paints stock had scaled its 52-week high of 679 rupees per share on September 22. Earlier, the company had fixed September 23 as the record date, to ascertain eligibility of shareholders entitled for issue of bonus equity shares in the ratio 1:5, that is, 1 equity share of 1 rupee each for every 5 equity shares. Typically, companies issue bonus shares to encourage more retail investor participation, or provide an alternative to issuing dividend payment for rewarding investors. Shares of Dixon Technologies slipped 1.4% to a one-month low of 4,738 rupees per share on September 25 following reports of the government deferring the import curbs on personal computers, laptops and tablets by the 9th of December months from October 30. The stock price of this electronic device manufacturing service player has so far skid 9.3% from its 52-week high of 5,225 rupees touched on September 5. The shares of Dixon Tech has shed 5% so far this month as against a 2% gain in the benchmark Sensex. Varun Beverages, one of the largest franchisees of PepsiCo globally, hit a 52-week high of 972.90 rupees on September 26. Buoyed by high-volume trade and a positive brokerage outlook. Nearly 29 lakh shares exchanged hands against a monthly average of 15 lakh. A buy call for the beverage maker's stock from the Bank of America Securities seemed to have contributed to the upward move. Seeing a further upside from the current price levels, the foreign brokerage raised the target price for the share to 1,030 rupees. We expect strong growth and profitability to be sustained by the company despite a volatile macro environment. Over 3 years period, we estimate a compound annual growth rate revenue at 19% and earnings per share at 23%, the foreign brokerage said. RPP Infra Projects share price was locked in a 5% upper circuit of 71.36 rupees to touch its 52-week high in the early trade on September 26 after the company announced receiving orders worth 482.37 rupees crore. There were pending buy orders for 66,043 shares, with no sellers available. The company got an order from Chennai Petroleum Corporation Limited for road and drain works, one of CPCL at Nagapattinam in Tamil Nadu at a contract price of 300.44 rupees crore. The order has to be executed in 12 months. HLE Glasgow jumped 10% on September 27 on the National Stock Exchange amid high volumes, a day after DSP Mutual Fund bought a 3.5% stake in the company for over 121 rupees crore. DSP Mutual Fund's micro-cap fund bought 24 lakh shares of HLE Glasgow for 505 rupees apiece, the block deal's data showed. Around 25 lakh equity shares of HLE Glasgow had changed hands on both exchanges by noon on September 27, while 27 lakh were traded a day earlier. In the past 6 months, the small-cap industrial stock has surged 19%, against a 14% rise in the Sensex, after sinking to a 52-week low of 466 rupees on March 29, 2023. Shares of REC surged as much as 6% on September 27, continuing the upward trend seen over the last year. This trend has been observed in the thriving power sector, driven by increasing government and investor attention. Analysts attribute the rising interest in these stocks to robust power demand in August. Power demand in India was up 4% year-on-year during April-August 2023, according to a Jefferies report. A contributing factor here is a 16% increase year-on-year in August 2023, which helped reverse the first quarter demand decline trend. Apart from manufacturing, agriculture also contributed to the demand. KP Energy traded 5% higher on September 28, a day after the energy company announced the commissioning of Phase V of its interstate transmission system-connected wind power plant. According to a regulatory filing, KP Energy successfully commissioned a further 10.5 megawatts, Phase V, ISTS-connected wind power project comprising 5 wind turbine generators of 2.1 megawatts each, at Sidhpur in Gujarat's Devbhoomi Dwarka district. It is a part of the 250.8 megawatts ISTS-connected wind power project capacity awarded to Apraava Energy by Solar Energy Corporation of India. Share price of Jet Airways zoomed 5% to 55.8 rupees, hitting the upper circuit on September 29, as the Jalan Kalrok consortium infused 100 rupees crore into the grounded carrier, completing its financial commitment of 350 rupees crore. With this infusion, the Jalan Kalrok consortium has fulfilled its total financial commitment of 350 rupees crore equity, as per a court-approved resolution plan, and all commitments by JKC now stand fulfilled to take control of the iconic airline, said a release issued by the consortium. The consortium's strategy to revive the airline remains unaltered. The new promoters are determined to re-establish the operations of the airline up and running in 2024, JKC added. Shreyas Shipping and Logistics crashed 17% on September 29, after promoter Transworld Holdings Limited rejected the discovered price for the delisting process, and made an offer much below the market price. As against the discovered price of 890 rupees a share, THL proposed a counteroffer of 400 rupees. The promoter's offer is at a 16% discount to the September 28 closing price of 473.83 rupees. After announcing intention to delist Shreyas Shipping, THL offered an indicative share price of 375 rupees apiece. The bidding period for reverse book building started on September 20 and ended September 26. Bedmuther Industries Limited has moved up by 62.15% this week with a change of 45.10 points. It has traded with a net volume of 4.201 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 119.75 against the previous closing price of 73.85. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 79.90, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 120.80 points this week. While shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 89.24. Omax Limited has moved up by 55.12% this week with a change of 26.90 points. It has traded with a net volume of 26.435 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 75.70 against the previous closing price of 48.80. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 53.10, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 75.70 points this week. While shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 75.41. DCM Limited has moved up by 31.15% this week with a change of 23.01 points. It has traded with a net volume of 4.713 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 97.05 against the previous closing price of 74. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 79.10, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 100.50 points this week. While shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 70.17. Mohit Industries Limited has moved up by 30.77% this week with a change of 4.60 points. It has traded with a net volume of 4.005 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 19.55 against the previous closing price of 14.95. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 15.95, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 22.75 points this week. While shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 69.72. Williamson Maga Company Limited has moved up by 28.7% this week with a change of 6.30 points. It has traded with a net volume of 1.636 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 28.25 against the previous closing price of 21.95. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 22.45, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 32.40 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 69.78. Talking about Nifty 50 and Bank Nifty expectations. The Nifty 50 rebounded sharply after a day of severe correction, and closed with more than 100 points gains on September 29, the first day of the October series. The index also defended 19,561, which coincides with the 50-day EMA, exponential moving average. The Nifty 50 opened higher at 19,581, and remained in a positive terrain throughout the session after positive global cues. The index hit an intraday high of 19,726 in the last hour of trade, but saw some profit-taking before closing the day with 115 points gains at 19,638. Hence 19,500 to 19,550 can be a crucial area for downside in the coming week, while the 19,750 is expected to be the critical area for further rally. The index has formed a bullish candlestick pattern with a long upper shadow on the daily charts and traded within the previous day's range, which resembles a bullish harami kind of candlestick pattern formation at the downtrend, indicating that the bearish trend may be reversing. The Bank Nifty also witnessed a pullback, and as a result, it managed to close around the 20-week moving average, for 4584, which is a positive sign. The index hit the previous day's high, but failed to sustain the same and formed a small-bodied bullish candlestick pattern with long upper shadow and small lower shadow on the daily scale. The index settled at 44,585, up 284 points on the first day of the new monthly F&O series, while on the weekly timeframe, it shed 27 points and formed a dodgy sort of candlestick pattern, indicating indecisiveness among bulls and bears about future trend ahead of RBI monetary policy next week. On the upside, we expect a pullback towards 45,000 to 45,200 zone from short-term perspective. You can contact us from the details mentioned on the screen via a call, WhatsApp, or email. Thank you for listening the video to the end. Please do like, share, and subscribe the video for the latest updates in the market.